iCloud. Okay, good afternoon. This is Kelly Schwartz with Schwartz Consulting Group. Anissa Holmes with Delivering Wow in the one and only Minal Sampat, marketing strategist extraordinaire. So the three of us have been actively involved in the new craze and app Clubhouse. And one of the things we keep getting asked by default is, how do you fill in the blank? So what is Clubhouse and what is it all about is what the three of us are going to talk about today. So I'm really just going to step right in here and show you that Clubhouse is really what we call a drop-in audio app. It is becoming the big thing. It's growing quickly. It's by invitation only. It is on iPhone applicants right now, correct? Only by invitation. And it's just growing really quick. I call it podcasting on steroids, and the ability to jump in and jump out is kind of fun. But I'm going to start off with just real quick. This is the three of our profiles on Clubhouse, so you can find us. It's Minal Sampat at Minal Sampat. I'm Kelly Schwartz at Dental Coach. Anissa Holmes at Anissa Holmes. I just noticed that I guess I should have probably used my names if I'm following the experts, and that's the two of you. But this is what your profile screen would look like. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, just introduce the two of you, which I want to say thank you for being on here and helping lead the way and carve the way. Anissa has set up a really cool dental club within the app itself. So I'm going to turn it over to you two lovely ladies and let you take control of the screen and the meeting and show us what app Clubhouse is and how do we use it and where to get started and how you see it being used in the dental field going forward. Because a lot of dentists are asking me, how can I benefit? And I've got my ideas, but I'd love to hear yours first and foremost. So the two best experts in marketing, take it away.
Who's going to go first? Okay, so super excited to be here, Kelly. Thank you so much for inviting us to come on. And as we were just starting to record, I said, Kelly, you could actually teach this class yourself because you have definitely been active on the app, sharing lots of value and really giving lots of knowledge to dental professionals. So the question is, what is Clubhouse, right? And so how I see it, my definition of Clubhouse is it's kind of like a podcast, right? So we listen to podcasts to be able to get knowledge, to be able to get information. But what I love about Clubhouse even more is that there's actually a discussion. So you may have someone who may be an expert on a topic, right? Maybe you're coming on and you're talking about pearls to grow your dental practice, right? And you could do a podcast, but with Clubhouse, what happens is that as you're talking, I can raise my hand and I can say, Kelly, I have a question. And you can answer my question, or I can say, that was really good. And I have, you know what? I have a pearl to add for what's worked in my practice. And so now you have this community where you have dental professionals that are connecting, that are collaborating, that are sharing. And I can tell you, every time I go in a room, I'm taking a ton of notes, right? So there are rooms like that. There are also rooms where you can just go in and drop in and have a chat. So you can say, hey guys, I have been super busy today at my practice, but this happened today. And I had this happen with a team member. And I just want to bounce some ideas and see, and you get other people that are coming into the room. So that's how I see the app. What's really cool is it's not just dental. And so it's also an app where you can learn about, like, I'm wanting to learn more about cryptocurrency. I have no idea really what it is, right? And how it works. So I'm in rooms about cryptocurrency. I'm in rooms with amazing marketing minds, right? I can be in a room with Damon Johns and I can raise my hand and be brought to the stage and I can ask him a question. Like, where else can you be able to get access to amazing, brilliant minds and be able to have them to actually answer your question? And so that's why there's so much buzz, so much feedback. I will share just a little brief thing about Dentist Club and my vision. And then I'm actually going to hand it over to Minal. And she has actually an app pulled up where she's going to be walking through and we'll all be kind of sharing some tips and insight. But when I joined the app, I actually did not see many dentists that were actually on Clubhouse, right? I actually joined from somebody who's outside of our industry. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I saw the vision. I'm like, Facebook groups are great, but to be able to be here and actually hear people's words and feel their passion and to be able to connect. The culture is that if you have a question, you can just look at the person's bio who's speaking, and you can learn more about them. You can click on and you can actually message them through Instagram, and you can get your questions asked. So if you're shy, like a lot of people are in Facebook groups, and you have a question, you can actually message them, and it's actually encouraged. But I didn't see a lot of dental professionals, so I actually went in and I was able to get approved a dentist club. So that now means that we have our own place where you can go in, you can follow, you can become a member, and now we can start following each other. We can start rooms, and we can be able to collaborate together. And so we created that club for any dental professional to go in, to create a room, and once you get a room, other dentists are popping up in there. So definitely want to encourage all of you guys to take advantage of that. This is not about delivering well or Anissa Holmes. It's just somebody had to create the first club for us to come together, and so really excited about that. So Minal,
Well,
passing it over to you.
Yeah, I was actually listening to one of the founders of Clubhouse, and he described it as a radio talk show with 100 different channels that you can pop in and participate and take callers, which was really cool. And he's on Clubhouse on a regular basis. But you bring a really neat point up, Anissa, that I didn't learn early on. When you're in a particular clubhouse, if you will, everybody you know knows where you're at. So if you're watching, hey, I like to get high, you know, everybody's going to know that's what you're watching. Or, you know, I like girls from Jamaica. Everybody's going to know you're on that site. So, you know, new users, be aware that that's good or bad for accountability, but that does happen. There's no silent stalking. All your friends know where you're at.
Absolutely.
So, Minal,
and I hear that they may be making some changes based on that, based on the town hall that they had on this weekend. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it because you do know where your friends are and you can join them. I mean, that's how I've been in a lot of meetings with you and Minal. I enjoy that because I respect certain people like you and what you're giving your time and energy to, as opposed to jumping in for 15 minutes and just wasting your time. So that's a good and or bad, depending on how you look at it. So Minal, you want to take the screen and walk us through the ins and outs, because a lot of people want to see this.
Yes. Hey guys. So this is Minal Sampat. You know, before we go into the Clubhouse maze of things, there are a few. As a strategist, I promised Kelly that I will give you strategies on what to do with Clubhouse. This is why Kelly and I talk, because every time he's like, you're not selling anything. You always great strategies. So here are, I'm going to, so take a pen and a paper out, like right now, grab it, pause the video, great, grab pen and paper, come back, and let's write the strategies down. Before I show you the ins and out of Clubhouse as an app, because I'm going to share my phone screen in real time to show you, here are 3 different ways that I want you to use Clubhouse. The first thing, as Anissa and Kelly talked about, you need to be able to network and connect. So I know that there are so many people that you want to talk to, or you want to chime into, or you want to learn from other dentists, other experts, professionals. So the first thing is you do have to show up and network. So that means that you, when you get onto Clubhouse and you create that profile, make sure that you are networking and be specific in what kind of questions you have. You know, a great way for you to learn is to ask questions. So use Clubhouse as a networking platform. That's the first thing. I can tell you that just in the last week alone, I have received speaking engagements from it. I have received clients from it. And these are people like, we know about you, we have heard about you, but we never had the opportunity to speak with you one-on-one. And if you were to look at my calendar, you can't speak with me one-on-one till 2 weeks from now because just I'm booked. But at Clubhouse, when it's 8:30 p.m. and I'm just, you know, getting ready and doing something and I have it open and they say Minal online, they'll create a room with me. And now it's at 8:30 p.m. and I'm speaking with somebody. And we are sharing. So networking is huge. That's Clubhouse networking, where you can get one-on-one time. Now be careful, don't become annoying about it. And don't start, you know, asking the same person over and over again. Don't become that person. Be mindful, always be mindful on how you reach out to people. But first thing, network, that's the first strategy. The second strategy I want you to focus on is, what is it that you want to share? What makes you a thought leader? What makes you good at what you do? Whether you are a dentist, whether you are a consultant, whether you're a speaker, whether you're a coach, you have something that makes you who you are, right? There is a topic that you want to share. There is something that you're good about. If you're a dentist and you want to get patients from Clubhouse, clearly there are ways for you to open up rooms where you can talk about dentistry, You know what questions people ask you about implants. You know what questions people ask you about everything else from patient point of view. Well, here is a huge crowd and they are on Clubhouse. And if they have questions to ask you, you are the dentist who's opening up a room right now. So you can start getting patients. If you're a coach, consultant, speaker, you have services that you provide to dentists. Dentists are on Clubhouse. And because there are few of them right now, it's a great way for you to get in front of those few of them. So start sharing, start giving. You know, the number one thing that I hear from a lot of consultants and speakers is, I don't want to give my information for free. I don't want to do that. Like, I charge. I get it. I charge lots of money per hour. I know Anissa does too. But that does not mean that we don't provide information that's valuable. Give before you take. And if you are of that thought process, give before you take, trust me, you're going to be just fine in your business because people are going to reach out to you. Think of it as putting yourself out there as a thought leader. So that's a second strategy. First one, make sure you're networking.
And so I was going to jump in, and Anissa and I were in a group the other day about destination dentistry. And so in that regards, if you're a dentist and you do high-end cosmetics and people are flying in from you, general patients are going to see you. But we both encourage our doctors to get their patients getting on Clubhouse when they can, start following, and then dentists can have their own rooms for their own patients.
It's so
absolutely. That's definitely. And we can share how to do that because I mean, I know I've already been testing strategies. Some of my clients are already doing this. They're getting patients from Clubhouse. So we're going to go through some features, but at the end, we have some tips of how you can actually use it to get patients. So make sure that you watch this video to the very end.
Yes.
The three of us are going to end up making this a series.
Well, and
sorry, keep it going.
No, it's totally cool. So this is why it's great this way. You know, we make it engaging and interactive. And then the third strategy, and this is the one that I love the most, is this allows you to learn a lot more things. So for example, you know, dentistry, I was in a group the other day where for whatever reason, it was a completely marketing group, but they had me come as a speaker. This was nothing to do with dental. And somebody literally hired me to market this business of theirs, which is a big e-commerce business because I do e-commerce and things like that, and completely different out of the dental world. But the thing about this is it's not just networking within your industry. You can not only learn, you know, Anissa mentioned that she's into cryptocurrency. I am into real estate marketing, and I have a lot of different things, profit centers that I'm a part of. So you could learn from so many other people. You want to be on TikTok? I know you want to be on TikTok because everybody wants to be on TikTok, right? But here's the thing. TikTok means that you need to do videos. Some of you may hate video. Some of you may hate getting ready every single time you're on Zoom. You may be zoomed out by now. I get it. I understand it. Well, here's the thing. You could be wearing PJs and having a man bun or a woman bun, and you could be literally in your bathtub, and you could be on Clubhouse because nobody sees you.
Love that.
It's all audio.
And I don't know if you heard me say that, Kelly, but I was saying yesterday that like I do my hair on Tuesdays. So today's Tuesday as we're making this recording, and my hair looks really pretty, right?
Yes.
But yesterday, oh my gosh, it was so straight. It was terrible, right? I would never do a video on a Monday. But guess what? I did 3 Clubhouses yesterday.
Yeah. I laugh sometimes because I'm actually laying in bed, Anna's asleep, and I'm on Clubhouse because I see you guys are on and I have FOMO. So I jump on, I want to see what's going on, but I don't have to worry about where I'm at, what I'm wearing, what I'm doing. I can just listen and talk.
Yeah, so, you know, use it to learn from other industries, leverage that and realize that accept what groups you're in and what you're doing. So clearly, if you're watching something really ridiculous, or if you're in a group that's talking about something not great, people are going to see where you are hanging out. So clearly that part you have to be careful about. But as far as your image goes.
Yeah, right. It's not that it's yeah, it's not that it's wrong. It may not be politically correct to your patients. Yeah.
Right. And there are, and you do have to be careful because Clubhouse, for whatever reason, when you first join, just gives you very popular, trendy club rooms. So it shows you all these rooms which are very popular. And sometimes the popular topics are not the topics that you want to be seen with, or you want to be associated. Like I've had 4 people reach out to me just yesterday who said, I joined Clubhouse, I hate it because I was in this group, they were talking about porn, and I was in this other group and they're like, what is this? This is disgusting. And I had to get on the phone and be like, no, there's a way for you to systemize it. There's a way for you to add your interests, and there's a way for you to hide groups. So yes, they are going to show you groups which are very popular. You just simply have to hide or scroll and not join them. So tips and tricks, and we'll go into the actual Clubhouse page soon so we can show you. But yes, Kelly, you said you had one.
For better or worse, nothing is recorded. So if you're in a room on accident, it's not recorded. You can leave quickly, and there's no that I can see trace. These are the rooms you've been in. So if you do go into something that does interest you, and just know that the people you're following will see that, but it's no record. Once you're out of the room, you're out of the room. Just make sure you leave quietly when you click the button on the left.
And another really quick tip, and maybe we can then go ahead and move into how do you become a member of Clubhouse, because there's a big craze to actually get in. But one thing in terms of the algorithm and determining your feed, I can tell you my feed is all business. It's all business. It's all marketing. It's cryptocurrency, and it's all dental. Okay. And the reason why is that I will go into a room, and as I'm going into the room, I'm following the dentist, right? I want my feed to be filled with dental education, dental knowledge. I want to be aware of when rooms are opening up. So if you start following other dentists, or if you get into a room and maybe you love knitting, right? So you want to learn more about knitting, and you get into typically the moderators are going to be the experts. So you definitely want to follow them. And there's actually a feature in there that you can make a decision that once you follow them, you can actually be notified every time they're actually speaking. So we can share you what that looks like within the app shortly. But if you want to fill your feed, the best way to do is to follow people who have similar interests. And from there, it actually will give you, it's very smart. The algorithm is building up based on AI. And that's what I'm seeing right now. It's all business, it's all marketing, it's cryptocurrency, and it's my dental. So hopefully that serves you. So
the hobbies and interests right now are very limited. So you do have to add your own and create your own little icons from your app. But I think that'll be expanding. So thank you, Anissa. Minal, you want to show us on your phone where we're at?
Yeah, absolutely. Can everybody
Can we just talk really quickly about how do you get into Clubhouse? A lot of questions are like, how can I get into Clubhouse? How can I get an invite? So before we kind of go into the app, can we just kind of share a little bit about that process? I don't know who wants to take that question.
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, it's very easy to do. It's the way the Clubhouse did. So Clubhouse, the people who made Clubhouse are super smart. They are leveraging on three different things. They're leveraging on FOMO, they're leveraging on engagement, and they're leveraging on beta users. So what that means is that you do have to have an iPhone right now to get into Clubhouse. Clubhouse is not an app that's available on Androids or any of that yet, but it'll come soon. I guarantee you that. The second thing is for Clubhouse, in order when you get in, you're going to get invites based on your engagement. So are you hosting rooms? Are you being a speaker? Are you being a listener? The more you do, the more invites you get. And that way you can invite other people. When the invitation goes out, you have to make sure that whoever you send the invitation to, you have their phone number, because it's not like a link or something you can follow. It's simply you have to text this person, and they get a text message from you with the contact details and whatever it is they have to do to click on it, and then they get approved, and then they're in Clubhouse. So it is a process for you to do it. So, and you only get limited, depends on how active you are. I know that I've gotten like 3 invites every couple of days. I would get them. Or I know that if you are a club person, you may get like 20 invites or something like that. So the more engaged you are and the more you are in Clubhouse, the more invitation you have to give out. But you cannot take back an invitation. So if you send out an invitation to a friend of yours who's like never on and doesn't really care about it, but you're like, I want you to be on here.
Yeah.
Or on Android, that's an invitation wasted. That means that it's not going to work. Just think about how smart marketing is for the people who made Clubhouse, because they are literally pushing you to get people in their platform by you engaging and creating FOMO. They just made a platform, but their strategy is so strong that they're having all of us market it for Clubhouse. So even from a marketing point of view, I just want to support the app because the people who made them are brilliant marketers and they know what they're doing. And they're like, I'll give you 3 invitations, but if you give it to somebody who can't use it or somebody who's not really into it, it just got wasted. And then we are here talking about how amazing Clubhouse is. So think about all that stuff before you just give out your invitations. But yes, easy way to do it, iPhone. Post it on your Facebook. Hey, does anybody have a Clubhouse invitation? Post it on Instagram. And that's how, yeah, and that's how you're going to be able to get in. And then once you get that invitation, show up.
Yeah,
show
and
up.
what we're doing when we send out the invites, we're making sure that they're on iPhone and that they're interested. When somebody asks me, I actually give them a quick call and say, hey, here's what it's about. Is this something you'll use? Because it is limited. And then when they're on board, I'm trying to get them into Anissa's club, the dental club, which Anissa says it's everybody's club, and it is. But she's been doing a great job of putting our clients right into the dental club so they can listen. So that's great.
Perfect. All right, guys, are you ready for some screen share time?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Now, have you started your own club yet, by chance?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have not. Hopefully next week.
I've applied for one as well, and then I'm going to make sure both of you are in it and moderators with me because I want to do this with you guys. The best of the best is you two.
Oh, you're kind, Kelly. All right, so if you're seeing my phone right now, this is real time, guys. So this is my Clubhouse. Now, if you go on here, you're going to see that the envelope means the invitations you have. So I still have one invitation left. You have your calendar, so upcoming events for you. So these are just events from people who are setting up things. As Anissa said, if you look at my feed and the kind of invitations I have today, are invitations that are based on my interest, entrepreneurship, high vibe engaging rooms, lots of dental stuff, right? How to sell courses, growth summit, Clubhouse, massive profits. So clearly my events are with that. Now in here, you see the little calendar with the plus sign. I can go in here and I can make my own event. So I can call the event XYZ. When I do that, I can add a co-host, I can add a date, I can do a host club. You see that? So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting and more detailed, but this is a 101, so we can go there later.
So if you do not have a club yet, you can leave that blank. But if you want to put it in the dental club, we click that, correct?
Yes, so if you go in here, because I'm in the dentist club, it will tell me, hey, do you want to make this in the dentist club event? And then it could be a dentist club, but you don't always have to use the club, or you don't always not have to use the club. It's totally up to you on how you do it, but that is where it is. And you can also add co-hosts. So I can go in here and I can put down Kelly Schwartz, and now he's a co-host with me for this club. So you could add multiple co-hosts, you could add guests to it, and this is how you can make your own room pretty much. So again, going back, that's the little calendar icon, you see that? Clearly notifications are just notifications, activities which are happening inside the Clubhouse. Now this is my profile. I am not as active. I go in there maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but if you see the profile, you need to make sure that there are so many different groups on here that talk about how do you make your profile stand out. Remember, this is their first shot at it. So that means that you want to keep it where people can easily see it, see who you are, get in touch with you, and keep it simple. So as you see my profile, and we can maybe even I'll pull up Anissa's profile and Kelly's profile in a second as well. But if you see, I have who I am right on the top, emojis, making it simple so you can understand exactly, some quotes, some information about me, all that stuff. And then the reason I have my born in India, grew up in St. Thomas, degrees from New York, current diploma in VA is because, believe it or not, I have people finding me from where I'm from. And they would actually contact me. They're like, what, you're from St. Thomas? I've been there, or I'm from St. Thomas. We need to connect. Or you're in Washington State. I'm a dental practitioner. Can you help me? So location as something that has been new that has helped me. So
I have a simple question for both of you. So if I'm looking at your profile, Minal Sampat, at Minal Sampat, what is the purpose of that? People can't reach out to you through that at this time, correct? They have to hit your Instagram or your Twitter?
That's correct. But at Minal Sampat it's just easier for marketing, for people to remember. I need to find Minal on Clubhouse. I'm going to put in Minal Sampat.
Okay.
So it's just searchability thing. And that was I was going to show in here. So if I were to go to this little, hold on, I know it, instead of that, I'm going to go up and pull up Anissa's profile, and then I'm going to pull up Kelly's profile just so we can see how everybody's profile is set up. Okay, so here's Anissa, similar thing.
I know,
as you
and
see.
one of the things while you're doing that, I was going to say, one of the things I learned early on, when I was first starting off, I didn't have a profile, and Anissa right away said, Kelly, get your profile up. So I literally hung up and did it right away. And on that, as you're talking, if you have a little party hat megaphone in the bottom corner, that means you're new to Clubhouse for the first week, I think it is, correct?
Right, so they just show the new members a little love by showing who they are. Yeah.
Okay.
But so this is Anissa's profile.
A few other
as you see.
tips for your Yeah, a few other tips for your profile, guys, is that it is actually putting you into the search engine. Okay, so if you want people to find you, or you want to find other dentists, you definitely want to put dentist in there. Emojis are also searchable as well. So you see that I have a little tooth emoji, but anything that you want people to search for and find you, like Minal said that she put in St. Thomas, right? So definitely you want to think about that. If you have your Instagram, you want to link that as well. And a few ways as you start getting into building rooms, maybe you're doing a room on 3 different ways to replace missing teeth, for example, you can have now in there. The reason why you want to connect it, that you may have people, you're having a topic and you may say, you know what, you may have a question, maybe you don't want to come on stage, right, to ask your question about veneers, right? So if you like, you can go ahead and go into my profile and you can go ahead and send me a message and I will get right back to you right away to be able to respond to you. And what's really cool as well is that Instagram, and they may be changing actually their messaging features to actually build it internal, but right now it is actually connected to Instagram. What's really cool is that you can actually retarget people who have engaged with you on Instagram. And so even if you're doing Facebook posts or things like that for your practice and you're doing Facebook ads, you can actually retarget people that have sent you a message through Instagram through this application. So as you're starting to look at how can you use the features, these are just some basic things that you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have connected.
And with the profiles, I know we've had conversations. If you want to come in as a non-dentist, non-coach, you can easily copy and paste a new profile if you have it set up. So if Anissa wants to come in as, say, a normal and just follow, she can be in that direction and then change her profile as well.
Absolutely. So I have, like, on my phone, I can have different profiles. So if I'm coming in and I'm talking as a dental expert for my practice, I can have everything about, we focus on veneers and cosmetic dentistry, right? I can have a different profile that's I'm the dental coach. I've also been in rooms with some very, very well-known digital marketers, and I've been brought onto the stage as an expert for digital marketing for businesses. And so I could have a different profile that speaks to the fact that I've spoken at Funnel Hacking Live and I'm an expert for social media marketing, right? And so it'd be more applicable than me talking about I do fillings and veneers and crowns, right? So you can certainly change your profile if you have, you know, different areas that you focus on within your life.
And that's absolutely true. So for me, because I speak a lot, that's what I do. So for example, in my profile, you will see that I'm speaking Chicago Midwinter, I'm speaking at Yankee Dental, I'm speaking at Star of the North, and that is, and I'm in a lot of speaker groups. So clearly, the more you do it, the easier it is in this one-on-one lecture. So, you know, I am on Kelly's profile right now. You see that he has his information on here. He also has his tooth emojis. Now in here, let's say I go to Kelly's profile and you see you have that little star on the right side. If I were to click on it, it will show me people to follow. So maybe, so
That I particularly follow, is that how that is?
Right, so this is showing me people that I could follow based on who you're following too. So when I can go in here, when I click on there on somebody else's profile, I can see that. I can also look at Kelly's profile and I can see that he's following 71 people. So when I click on 71 people, I can see who I am following and who I need to follow from his profile. So again, if you're trying to create your group or your dental world based on your networking, this is how people find you, and they also look at who you're following, and then they start following you. So in here, I can just go in here and I can be like, oh, Kelly is following, you know, da 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 da, and I can just press follow, and I can do that as well. So it's a great way for you to, once you start following people, it's almost networking. So you go in and you ask more and more people to do that. The notification on here is, you know, again, as we said, if you are trying to follow somebody and if you want to be available to them, towards them, you click on that little bell icon on the top and it will say, when Kelly Schwartz talks, notify me always, sometimes, never, ever, or cancel. For me, most of everybody is sometimes, because otherwise my phone will buzz 24 hours a day and I wouldn't get anything done. I'm sorry?
I'm so glad you don't have never. I'm glad you don't have never ever checked.
There are a few people that when they go into the room, I want to hear them every time they go into Clubhouse, right? I have a few mentors and coaches that I have, and anytime they speak, I want to take notes, right? So if you're in a room and maybe you're following Kelly and you're like, every time Kelly speaks, it's gold. Go ahead and hit that bell so that you are notified and you don't miss out on anything that Kelly has to say. So I definitely have a few people like that in the dental industry as well, including Kelly, right? So that way, when they're speaking, I can learn from them, or I can go in and I can add to the conversation. And what's really cool about Kelly and I is I will do a Clubhouse, and next thing you know, like he's popping in there. Maybe you have me on the bell too as well, Kelly.
I do.
And he's coming in and he's adding value, and we're collaborating together. And that makes for really exciting rooms. And that's another great thing about Clubhouse. Like the power is also that you can collaborate with other people, right? So I offer dental coaching and consulting. So does Kelly, right? And so Kelly and I can do a panel about dental coaching and consulting, ask a question. Or Minal and I can do one about dental marketing, right? And so now you're creating a more valuable room because you actually have an amazing panel, and somebody may ask a question that I'm not really an expert in, but Minal's like, oh yeah, I do that all the time. Let me answer that one. Or somebody may ask a question and she'll be like, okay, that's you, Anissa, right? And so now we're able to give more value and everybody's able to learn more. So as you're starting to build rooms, reach out, connect, collaborate with other people. I've had people reach out to me that I don't even know really, I haven't really heard much about them. I don't know who they are. And they're like, I'm a dental coach. I do in-office coaching on case acceptance. Can we do a room together? I'm like, sure, let's do it. It'll be fun. Let's get a bunch of us and we'll just have a great discussion, right? So use this opportunity to be able to connect, collaborate. And if there's somebody you want to reach out to, go into their Instagram, send them a message, right? Send me a message, Minal a message, Kelly a message, and connect with us. That's what this platform is all about.
And this is what I'm liking right here is the two of you are leading experts in social media and marketing. I'm an in-office practice coach. We all intertwine, but the synergy the three of us bring in helping the dental industry. And that's what I envisioned for today. And again, the visuals that Minal and you are providing is just going to make it best for the dental community. So Minal, go ahead and continue on.
Yeah. So the other question that's, okay, I know I need to have a profile. What do I do? It's so simple. You go into your page and you literally click on your profile. And that's it. And then you just go in and you type everything you want to do, and you can go ahead and type in your profile, and you can, press done, and now you're done. So your profile is really easy for you to manage. So simply, once again, just click on it. And when you click on it, it says update your bio. Unlike other apps where they have a limitation, this one doesn't seem to have that limitation yet. So make sure that you do a great job on your profile. Now you see the little gear on the top. So on the top right, if I were to click on that, this is where you will see how things are. So notification frequency, right? So when I go into notification frequency, how much do you want your notifications to show up all the time? I have it on normal. If you're super active, you could do frequent, very frequent. You can select your frequency of how you want the notifications to come in. I have include trending rooms as turned on. Again, that's just based on what I want to learn, and I want to see what are trending topics on Clubhouse. It's just research at my end. Feel free to do that. You can also pause notifications. So let's say, for example, like this happened to me on yesterday or some last couple of days, where I was speaking and I was sharing my screen for what I was teaching about. And I did not want Clubhouse to keep sending me notification while I'm teaching from my screen on my phone live to 75 people. So what I would do is I would go to pause notifications, and I can simply say, hey, pause all my notification till X amount of time. So then that way you don't bother me, or I'm sharing my screen or whatever is happening. I'm in a meeting, I'm speaking, I'm at a family event. I don't want to hear from you. You can just simply do that. Interest. So this is where it's interesting with interest. If you go into interest, you can go ahead and you can literally select the things that like you. Their logarithm is not as intense. So you may just get general information, a lot of this stuff, but it's just a way for you to just put down what is it you're interested in, and then your feed will start to kind of reflect what your interests are. So go ahead and put in your interest. Again, all of these things are very simple. What's new? And I click on what's new, it kind of takes me what are new things, what things are happening. Again, really not that important, but a part of that. So you can see terms of services, privacy. And then on the bottom, this is where you connect your Instagram and Twitter. So if you want people to message you and say, hey, DM me on Instagram, reach out to me on Instagram, you want to connect your Instagram there. And you also have the option of connecting Twitter. I am on both, but let's face it, except the past president, I don't know who uses Twitter anymore. So Instagram is the place to be. And because of that, hey, make it easy for them, have one location so you're not on Twitter and Instagram trying to engage back and make sure you don't miss any questions. I have Instagram selected, but if you have both and active on both, do both. So it's a great way for you to just set it up. And if you scroll down, you see it shows my Instagram right here on the bottom, and it says add Twitter. So in that same way, it says Instagram and Twitter. This is a great way for you to do that. Now let's get into rooms and what does it actually mean when you're on Clubhouse. So this was all your profile based. I'm going to go in here and okay, so we are doing this in real time. So everybody just watch it. The first thing that shows up on here, it's saying marketing and aesthetics, where to fit into your marketing. This is a group from the UK. I can simply go on it and I'm just going to click on it.
And real quick,
when I click on it,
real quick, you can see there's 11 people in the room and 5 people on the panel. So you know how big a room you're jumping into.
Yeah, so it kind of shows you how big of the room you're jumping into. Sorry, I jumped in and you can hear them speak. But if you come in here, you can simply click on any of the rooms which interest you. You click on it. When you go there, see, so this is just telling you, giving us a little thing. So right now, Grant is speaking. Everybody else is on mute who are speakers. And then you can simply leave quietly if you want. You can even raise your hand if you have questions and things like that. So in here, you can easily do that. You can ping people to join this room. So I can ping somebody else to come and hang out in this room as well with me. So I'm going to leave quietly.
And to
I'm
ping,
going to leave quietly, yeah.
And to ping, you hit the plus sign on the bottom and you can invite people. That's what Minal means by pinging. So people that are following you that you like or want to be or might benefit from that room, you ping them in by hitting the plus sign on the bottom. You hit the hand sign and they'll call you up. You'll get moved up to the stage on the top. And then when you're done with your question, you'll be moved back to the audience.
Right, and this is real time, so I don't want to be the jerk who clicks on everything. I already did that 3 times, so I'm not going to do that anymore and be thrown out of the group. But yeah, so when you click on the group, there's leave quietly. There is a plus sign to ping other people inside the group. There's a raise hand if you have questions and stuff, and that way they will bring you as a speaker where you can ask questions, collaborate, share whatever they asked you about. And as you see on here, there are just different groups on here, like the TikTok content creator meetup has 237 people in it and 7 speakers. So it kind of shows you, what everything is, how everything is. Now on the bottom here, do you see where there's a green button that says start a room? When I click on start a room, it will give me multiple options of, all right, where do you want to start a room? Do you want to start a open room so it's open to everybody on Clubhouse? You want to start a social room? You want to start a closed room? You want to start a room in the dentist club? So let's say I go in here. I'm not going to choose dentist club or anything like that because people are probably going to start coming in the room and they're going to expect me to be talking and it's going to be very confusing. So I'm just going to do closed room. When I do closed room, when I click on any of these rooms, you see it says, let's go for the open room. Let's go for the social room. Choose people for the closed room. I love this option because I love having information and content sharing and collaborating with like 5 or less people, because I really believe in communicating one-on-one with people. So I tend to do the closed rooms a lot, where I will go ahead and I'll go into my choose people. And let's say I want to speak with Dr. Greg May. I can select him and Hannah.
You could do a room you could do one right now with me and Anissa, and then we can actually jump in and we'll show everyone what that looks like because we'll get notifications on our phone.
So I just did Anissa and let me do Kelly.
I just noticed there's 2 Kelly Schwartzes in there.
Okay, did you guys get my invitation? And I just started a room.
I did.
Yes.
So I'm joining. Now, real quick, Anissa, do you want to talk about some of the courtesies of, the flashing mic and, one of the things I've noticed, and I think you have too, as you're new to Clubhouse, I would suggest that you make sure you have your notes or a little bit about yourself, what you're going to say when you first come to stage. Because even as a professional speaker, I have to admit there are times when I get called up that I fumble a little bit. And to have your referenced earlier, to be prepared when you're called up, tell me about yourself, have your 2 or 3 bullet points. But can you talk about, flashing mic and turning mics on and off and so forth real quick?
Right. So I think Minal is getting the screen share back up, but there's a few things that we are looking at with Clubhouse. So we have 3 different sections. One is we have the moderators. So these are people that have started
I've lost
the room.
the screen for something. I didn't have.
Yeah, I think we're overpowering Clubhouse right now.
Oh, really?
Just continue to talk, and I'll
Okay,
keep trying
go
to
ahead,
get it up.
Anissa.
So there's 3 separate sections of Clubhouse. One is if you're a moderator, right? So that's at the top, and there's actually right below it, there is an area of people who are being followed by the speakers. And below that, you will see anyone who is actually in the audience. So what's really interesting is that you have the ability to be able to listen at the bottom, or you can raise your hand to go to the stage. So typically we may be talking about, what are questions that you have about Clubhouse, and maybe talking about Clubhouse and questions that you have about Clubhouse. Next thing you know, somebody says, well, I have a question. They raise their hand. And so some of the etiquette that we want to do is you raise your hand. And typically what we want you to do is not to spend a lot of time talking about who you are and what you do and how many people you've helped and all of that stuff. People is to be able to be as succinct as possible and say, thank you so much, edify the moderator and say, thank you so much for putting on this room and giving value. That's typically what I'll do. And then from there, you'll go in and you'll ask your question. So you'll start with my question is. So my question is, Kelly, I am a dentist and I am having a really hard time keeping employees because they keep leaving, right? And I'm not sure if it's me or them or like what I'm supposed to do. So that's my question, right? So it's really nice to have one question and to get to the point, right? And that way now you can really maximize Kelly's time and his knowledge and expertise to be able to answer your question. And perhaps there's multiple moderators, right? Maybe there's 4 different moderators that are on that are all helping with coaching and consulting. And so Kelly will give his input and he'll say, Anissa, what do you think? And then I'll say, this would be my advice, right? And so typically the best rooms, you'll have at least 2 moderators that will answer your question. And then we'll go to the next person. We'll move you back down into the audience. And so we can get the next person in. So that's typically how you're able to get a lot of knowledge really, really quickly. That's going to be the best way to be able to have a room. If you are coming in as a moderator, just know that when you become the moderator, that if you want to put other moderators in, they have the same permissions that you have. So they can actually take you out of the room. They can actually move you back down to the audience so that you can't moderate anymore. So if you're going to moderate a room with others, make sure that it's somebody that you know. Also, we spoke about how do you get invites. So when you open rooms, you get invites. If you make a decision to open a room as a moderator and you have multiple moderators, you want to make sure that you close that room because you actually get credit for having that room when you close the room. And so what you don't want to do is say, oh my gosh, this is a great discussion. And boy, I've got to go have dinner right now. So you have a choice to make, right? I can say, Kelly, this room is really good. I'm going to go ahead and come off and I'll be back in an hour or I'll be back in 30 minutes. Or you know what, I'm off for tonight. I'm going to hand the moderation over to you. If you can keep this room going, that would be awesome. And I know that I'm fine. I value more the conversation going than me getting credit for it. Then that's my decision. But if you're wanting to do discussions, just know that you will not get credit unless you actually close the room. So that's something else to consider.
I found too, and I think both of you would agree, if you or Minal are hosting the room, if you will, and I'm the moderator, my job as moderator is kind of to help the two of you by keeping the stage going so you can stay focused. So when you are a moderator, you can jump in, but my job would be to help Anissa keep her flow or help Minal keep her flow. And then if I'm speaking, Anissa or Minal are doing the same for me because there's some ins and outs. And, Anissa taught me, check at somebody's profile before you bring them to the stage, because they may be somebody who's just trying to sell something to the group. And, it's awkward for the host, which would be Anissa or Minal, to do that. So as the moderator, you kind of become the stage police.
Absolutely. And I'm going to just do this old school because what's going on is Clubhouse has so I just figured this out. Because my phone is plugged into my computer to share my screen, Clubhouse is saying that you may be recording this conversation. It's not allowed. So what it's doing is that it's because I'm in a room right now, it won't let me share my screen. So I'm going to share it like this. Can everybody see my phone?
Well, we can turn off that room. Okay.
Well, so here's the room, and I just want to still show you guys the room. So a couple of things when I do this, guys, when I am too much noise, but pretty much, okay. Yeah, okay, Kelly, don't do that because you're messing it up. you're messing up my screen share. Okay, so when I go in here, Kelly's one of those people that I can tell that straight up to and be like, hold on. So, right, Kelly? Because he's
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am.
Now in
Absolutely.
here, so it's showing Kelly and I on the top as speakers, but here's Anissa, right? Now I can click on Anissa's name. And when I do that, you see on the bottom here, it says invite as speaker. That's the last option. So when I go in, I can go in and do invite as speaker. Now, because I did that, Anissa will now get an alert saying, hey, you're invited to be a speaker, and then she can choose to come on as a speaker as well. So you can invite people to come in as a speaker if you see somebody you want to have come share. And now you see Kelly actually left the speaking and he's a moderator. So you can jump around as well. And as we are saying, you can raise hands for questions. The plus sign is to make sure that you ping other people to join in as well. So right now you see Kelly just came in and he said, hey, I want to, he just, raised his hand. So now the moderator or the host can let them in and they can ask the question as well. A good thing to do, however, is if you are on the speaking platform, mute yourself. Don't keep yourself unmuted because people can hear everything that you're saying. So it's always good to use that mute button on the bottom is your friend. You know how on Zoom, you usually are like, you're on mute, stop being on mute, we can't hear you. On Clubhouse, you want to be on mute. And you want to unmute yourself only when you have something to say.
Yeah, and the protocol is kind of when the host or the moderator asks you, Anissa, what is your question? Then unmute yourself, but pay attention so you're ready to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So those are just some in and outs of it.
A few other things that you will do if you're moderating, or even if you're in the audience, there's a few.
Did she
froze. Anissa,
okay.
Little
there you
lingo.
go. Can you repeat yourself, Anissa?
That's happening right now. So you have one that's absolutely. So what I was saying is that there's a little bit of lingo called pull to refresh. So you can always pull down and see who's actually raised their hand first, and you can get them in that order.
Good point. Good point. Guys, this is great stuff. I mean, I think we're going to help a lot of people at least understand visually a little more on how to do Clubhouse. I think it's an up and coming thing. And, I'm so thankful that the two of you are leading the way on this. And I'm happy to be hanging on to your skirt tails there to learn all this good stuff. I'm happy to help as the coach, but social media and tech, not always the best.
So I'll go ahead and share as we're kind of wrapping up how you can use and leverage Clubhouse for your practice. I'm a strategist for marketing, so is Minal. So I think between the two of us, we can give you your strategy. But what I've seen working really well is, of course, I work a lot with practices on Facebook marketing. And one of the things that we are doing all the time is we are going on to Facebook, we're doing Facebook Lives, and we're doing what we call Tooth Talk Thursday. So we're doing an educational video. We're talking about 3 different ways to replace missing teeth. When is the right time to go to the dentist and take your child, like different topics, right? And so what some of my students have actually started to do is they're actually doing the same thing, and they're creating a show on Clubhouse. Now, the question is, how do we find people in our community to actually listen to our show, and how can we get people in our community to come in as patients and leverage it? And so a few of my thoughts or number one, as you're coming into Clubhouse, you'll have the ability to see all of your contacts. So you can go ahead and start following people that are in your city, that are in your community, and with the hopes that now you follow them, they're following you. And if they're following you, they'll get your topic will show up in their newsfeed. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can leverage clubs. So you can get into clubs. Maybe you live in Miami or you're in Atlanta. So you can go ahead and join clubs that are in your local community. And again, you can start becoming active. You can start going in and making some connections. And so once you start the room and people from your city are in the conversation, then now you can say, we'd love to be able to get more knowledge out and help so many people to be able to understand about these topics, right? A lot of people are afraid to go to the dentist. If you could do me a huge favor at the bottom, there's a plus sign. If you can just go ahead and ping in like 3 people that you know who live in Atlanta Atlanta that this would be of value to, that would be so great. We'd be able to help a lot of people, right? So now they're going in, you're getting more people. They all start to follow you because you're the moderator. And next thing you know, you can say, if this is valuable, you can click on my profile. There's a bell there, and go ahead and click there so that you'll be notified anytime I do these topics, because we do them weekly. And if you have any questions that we're not able to answer during this particular conversation, or you don't feel comfortable coming on stage and asking your question, because I want you to ask questions, send me a DM. Right there is the Instagram. Send me a message and we'll be able to answer you and to be able to get your question answered. We're here to be able to serve our community. And so these are some little strategies that you can use. And again, what's really cool is that if you're doing Facebook marketing, you can actually create an Instagram engagement audience. So that means that if you're now showing ads for implants, Invisalign, cosmetic dentistry, maybe you're doing a small makeover competition, you're doing videos, or you're doing your Tooth Talk Thursday videos within your Facebook page. Now you can have anybody that's messaged you through Instagram to actually start seeing those things in their feeds as well. So there's some really cool strategies of how we're able to maximize this application to be able to get more dental patients.
Great stuff. I know we're going close to an hour, and I think that's more than all three of us thought we would go today, but there's just so much good stuff here to make this really, help the dental community, help dentists grow their practice, as well as, just help others that are looking to use Clubhouse as a form of communication and marketing. Minal, do you have anything else you would like to add today?
Yeah, I'm going to do my real talk, which I usually do, where it's pretty much rebellious and controversial to other marketing stuff. Don't be overwhelmed. Listen, every time I talk to somebody, some people are still trying to learn Facebook, and that was launched in 2004. And people are, trying to be on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter, and everything else is out there, including Clubhouse now. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me and be like, don't even talk to me about another platform. Like, no, I need to sleep and eat and breathe and live my life. So I get it too as well. All you kind of have to do is try it, see if you like it, see if it's the right fit for you. Understand, like I told you, I gave you so many strategies. Anissa just gave you a lot of strategies. Kelly gave you some strategies on how you can utilize that and then get it done for yourself. And remember, the platform that's going to work for you is the one that you show up on consistently. So don't be overwhelmed, once again, because I know this is super overwhelming. And for many people who are watching this, you're probably like, please don't tell me there's another platform that I have to learn. I'm still trying to make a Facebook post. Like, no, there may be some of you are like, this is great. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is amazing. I don't have to work on videos anymore. I can just talk. Go, good for you. This is out there. Pick the platform that works for you, that works for your audience, that's easy. And that's going to help you really level up your business. And you stick with that. With social media, that's the thing. There is something called FOMO, and you can be a part of it. You cannot. I'm a marketing strategist, and I come on Clubhouse 3 to 4 times a week only. Well, I know that many people are on there every day, and that's totally fine. That's how it works. So choose, be okay with it, and continue with it. I just want to give you some real talk, because I know that I've had some people call me in the last few days going, another platform, Minal, I can't. Like, I just don't want to. Or first, understand the platform. See if it's easy for you to do it. Understand the strategies, because remember, every single platform is a tool, and you can use all of them. You can be on all of them. Facebook still has 1 billion daily active users. Totally fine. So does YouTube, so does Instagram. So you're fine.
Yeah, I found Clubhouse has replaced my radio, talk shows, and things of that nature. So when I'm in the car, in the airport, I'm listening to that, trying to learn as opposed to just noise. So I find myself on the platform a lot more than I am anything else, just because it's brain food. It's things we can listen to and learn. And I like brain food as opposed to watching a show or something of that nature. But it can be addicting as well, because I find myself getting pinged at 10 o'clock at night when I thought I had work turned off, and all of a sudden something interests me and I start jumping in there. So I like, all of it, if you will. So Minal, any closing comments?
No, just reach out to us. You know what to do. We are here for any questions. We're always here for Kelly and everybody talks to. Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Anissa, I just love the relationship we're starting to build, and the camaraderie and the things that we're doing that are mutual. I know we both do a lot of the same stuff, and we do it different, but we have a lot of the same philosophy. So thank you for your time today, ladies. I know you're both very sought after. Thank you for sharing it with the Schwartz Consulting Group team and all of our clients. And when this is done, we'll get this video out to both of you. Anissa, any closing comments?
I say just try it. Just try it and just do it. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. We're here to help.
Okay. Well, thank you both, ladies. Thank you to everybody who's on. And when you get on to Clubhouse, let us know. Follow Anissa, follow Minal, and we look forward to seeing you out there online. Have a great day.